Okay.
Okay,
You're real low. You're gonna lay down, honey. Stop, please.
Okay, so I listened to all the voice clips and I can feel all your frustration, but I want to say one thing before we jump in and get started is I feel like we're putting the cart before the horse, because some of the things that you're saying, I'm like, okay, we got to get some action steps in place, because some of the things that you guys are breathing existence into that you think you're not good at, probably are really great at them. You're just not doing all the steps to get you there, right? So I feel
Right.
like, and then, so first, I want you all to stop saying that you are not a team builder, or that you are not a live go-getter, or that you hate live videos, or that any of the things that you don't like or that you don't feel like you're doing well. I want you to stop talking about it, and I want you to start telling yourself that you're killing it. Okay? Because like literally you're creating more anxiety or more pressure on yourself by saying that. Even if we're just working up we just have to build up your skills. Okay? So I feel like, and all of you guys work full time, so that's really good, because we can kind of have the same, the same type of thing. But I think for all of you, I think it's going to be really important that we figure out some time blocking, because listen, there's 1,000,010 things you could be doing. And to be very honest with you, sometimes it's a blessing, of course, but sometimes it's a curse too, to not work full time, because I'm like, oh, I have all the time in the world, but time passes and then I have done nothing. Right? So we have to be, no matter what our schedule looks like, we have to be intentional with our time and the time that we have available. So what I think will be necessary for all of you is to look at your schedule and say, what times do I have available? So say, I'm just going to use Lori's because she said times to me. So she starts at like 4 in the morning and goes until like 7 at night, right? So I would challenge her to look and say, does she have a lunch hour? Is it the same every day? If it's not, which I imagine probably not in what she does, does she get a half hour? Does she get an hour? Does she get a couple 15-minute breaks here and there? What does that look like? And then we're going to actually pick out, like, maybe hers wasn't a good example because she actually has whole days in the week where she is available. Let's say, Nickie, you said you work 8 to 5. I'm gonna guess that if you work 8 to 5, you probably have somewhat of the same lunch hour most days.
Right, half hour.
Okay, so half hour, obviously you're gonna be eating your lunch, but there's no reason that we couldn't pick a couple things that you could be doing in that half hour. Like you could be sending birthday clips at that half hour. You could be, we can work on that. So the first thing I would say for all of you to do is to go into the files of Elite Legacy and print off the weekly IPO, the weekly tracker that has, like, it looks overwhelming. There's like a whole list and then all these little boxes to check them off for each day of the week. Okay, so print it off and then do not immediately get overwhelmed. I want you to look over the list and I want you to get a couple different color highlighters or markers or whatever you have accessible. Don't go buy markers or highlighters if you don't have them. And I want you to pick 5 things that you know that you could do every day right now without having to like carve out extra time that you don't already have. And I want you to highlight them a certain color. And then I want you to pick 5 more that if you had extra time outside of what you already had, you would do those 5 next. Okay? We're going to create and so the reason I don't want to say these are the 5 I want you to pick, because some of you are probably already doing certain things that you don't need to choose to add into your schedule. So I want you to pick the 5 that work best for you, and then pick the next 5 and highlight them a different color. And then, and you can do that. You can continue on until you have them all like color coded, whatever. But I want you to start doing 5 things every single day and create consistency. Because right now I'm going to speak for myself. When I went through the same thing, is there's all these things we could be doing, but we haven't narrowed down what we are doing, so we do nothing. Right? It can get away from us very quickly. Now, I want the live videos, like, here's the one thing, and Lori's probably going to kick me when she watches this, but you guys got to stop doing live videos in your car because people hate watching them. Like, and she does them in her car. And I'm going to tell you what, people have very negative feelings about live videos in their car unless they can visibly show that they're not driving. Like, people don't
Okay.
people driving doing live videos or anything like that. I've done a couple, and I get like messages like, why are you not paying attention behind the wheel? Even when you can see that you have it propped or mounted or whatever. So I just wanted to say that in there. She's probably going to be like, oh, she said that to me. Lori, when you watch this live recording, you can call me and message me and be mad at me. Live video, I don't necessarily, and I'm probably going to say all the opposite of what you've always heard, but I don't think it's necessary for you to do it every day.
Okay.
For me personally, when I do 3 to 4 live videos a week, my engagement and my interaction, my comments, my views are all much higher than when I do it every single day. So that may take a little bit of pressure off for you.
Definitely does.
Yeah, I thought it might. Take a little bit of pressure off because you don't have to come up with as many topics. But if you're not going to be doing live videos every day, you need to make sure that you're posting 3 times a day.
Okay.
My suggestion with posting is for you guys, and I've talked to so many people in the past few weeks that are like, my schedule's crazy and I don't always know what to post about. Take an hour on Sunday evening, or if Sundays are family day, take it Saturday evening. Pick a day of the week. I guess it doesn't matter if it's Tuesday, for goodness sakes. Pick a day of the week. And I want you to just get a notebook and say, okay, these are going to be my topics for the next 7 days. Okay?
Okay.
Take an hour and then just kind of figure out, like, I'm going to post about my son right here. I'm going to post about my dog. And like, it can just be very general, but you also can actually pre-write out your posts in your note section of your phone and have them so that you're just ready to post them. If you really want to like get thought out, I'm far more spontaneous than that, but sometimes people don't post because they can't think of what to post. But if you give yourself some sort of outline earlier in the week, you'll follow that. And the thing is the thing is like, when you post, I mean, you're gonna kind of, I would suggest setting alarms in your phone. So like, you remember, okay, so it's morning, I haven't posted. I like to post as early as I can in the morning, because people getting ready for work, people get to work, they check their phone one last time. I want to be in their feed. And then I like to post around lunchtime. And then I like to post after dinner time. And I'm on East, so my times are going to be a little bit different than D's, but you, at the same time, like, if you do, like, lunch hour can be like any span of 3 hours because that's going to differ across the country. Same thing with dinner, after dinner time. Like, if I do it at 9 o'clock here, it's going to be 6 o'clock where D is, so it's going to be after dinner for everybody. And, you know, it's going to show up in their feeds. I also do live videos. My live videos I usually do a little bit later at night. Like, I haven't done a live video today. I think I'm going to do one tonight. But I like to do them later. And when I do them at like 9:30, 10:30 at night, I am not even kidding. My live viewers and my views are significantly higher than any other time of the day for me. So you made, Nickie, you made a comment in those clips about followers. Do not stress about your followers. They matter none.
Okay.
I don't think I have 1,000 followers. I do not focus at all on followers. You know, like, your followers aren't necessarily interacting with you, and they may or may not catch your live. As long as your wall is set private, or private, as long as your wall is set public, anybody can see your live video. And so if people share it, you know, whatever. So my followers, I mean, I know that on Instagram, like, the more followers you get, the more that Instagram unlocks for you. But Facebook, I don't really care.
Okay.
I think it's going to be really important for all of you. So we need to be really intentional with our posting. So I guess I would say, and it's hard to do when there's all of us on here, but like, I would encourage each of you to really think long and hard about your brand. Okay. So that sounds really, really broad. And like, I feel like people think that their brand has to be some massive thing, but really,
Daphne?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm driving, so I apologize. I want to tell you all three of us have kind of started our brands within the past year or so.
Okay.
I feel like maybe we don't know if they're okay or good enough, or, I mean, Nickie, is that right?
Yeah, I agree. Deanna has a really good brand for herself. She does like the Fly Networker, which is of yourself, which is really awesome. I was trying to find one a while back, and I was doing like the social butterfly and like trying to go with the thing of like blooming out of a cocoon and trying to find yourself that way, but it never really stuck.
And then Lori does Pray, Hustle, Repeat.
So let me tell you for a second. Okay, so your hashtags is basically what you're talking about. And your hashtags, like what you're creating there, but your brand is so much bigger than that. Okay. So first of all, what I want to say, like I know 3 people that have Social Butterfly. So I want you to, if you guys are going to pick a hashtag that's going to be yours, I want you to search the hashtag first and make sure there's not a ton of people already using that, because you want your hashtag to be like, if somebody sees that hashtag and they click on it, you're what comes up. Okay. So I think that the other ones, like the Fly Networker, I don't personally know anybody, so I would search that. And then Pray, Hustle, Repeat, I have seen on a t-shirt. So I'm guessing if you search that, maybe, but maybe not. But and I'm not saying, even if they are, I don't want you to stop using it, but I need you to do something that is unique to you. Now, brand is completely different than your hashtag. Okay. So like my brand, basically a good activity to do for your brand is to set a timer for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I don't care, a piece of paper and a pen, and write every single thing that defines you. Like if somebody asks you your favorite color, somebody asks you what you're good at, somebody asks you what your hobbies are, somebody asks you what you like, somebody asks you what you love the most in the world, somebody asks you what you like to read, somebody asks you why you're happy, like what words you would describe yourself with. Those things are all your brand. Okay, so like I have people that'll send me pictures of things in the color of orange, because orange is part of my brand and orange is my favorite color. So basically I want you to think like brand could be something silly, like, do you identify with Target? Do you like shopping at Target? And if that's something that like people are like, oh, did you see this meme about shopping at Target, and they're sending you things like that, that's part of your brand. I drive an orange Jeep. So like but I don't drive a Jeep Wrangler, I drive a Renegade. So I call it my misfit Jeep, and I like doing things different than everybody else. So, you know, like all of those things, even though they don't relate with my business, they relate with me. So we are doing things to set us apart. Like I don't want you to feel like you need to be a network marketing coach. I don't want you to feel like you need to be teaching people how to brand themselves. I don't feel like you need to be teaching people how to do anything in the business. But I do feel like you personally as a human being have so much value. And if we can just figure out the core of what you are, like I'm a stepmom, I'm a mom, I'm a cross-country mom, I'm a football mom or an ex-football mom. My son has graduated and moved away. But, you know, like all those things are what I identify with. And so they make up a big part of my brand. And then once you have that page of all the things that define you, and they might, I mean, you set a timer, right? We don't need to do this for 10 days. But 2 minutes you wrote down, and then you can divide those. And we want you to have 5 pillars. So like I love to camp, I love to travel, I love my dogs probably more than anything in the world, I love my children, I love my husband. So like all those things are on my list, right? All the things I love, all the things that define me. I'm going to divide them into 5 things. So like for me, I have, and of course all of us should have health and wellness as a pillar, because that's the core of what we do for a job. Family is obviously a pillar. Adventure is a pillar, because I can take riding 4-wheelers, camping, traveling, all the things that I love to do and put them into adventure. And it can be really broad, right? I like humor. So like funny memes and funny like dog shaming videos, or like funny things that get people to laugh. So I have funny. I like sarcasm. So that's really can all roll into my humor, right? And then faith. Like, where's my belief system? And faith can mean with faith in God. Faith can be faith in yourself. Faith can mean so many things. So there you have 5 pillars, and those are mine. So obviously you can step back and say, what are my 5 pillars? And they may be similar. They may be the same. That's okay. But what happens is you're going to take all those words and you're going to group them. So you've got your pillar with all the words that describe that pillar. Okay, is everything making sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So then you're going to pick your number one pillar. Like, what is the most important thing? And for me, it's my family. And my family includes my dogs. So if you watch my Facebook, like most people, if you watch me at all, will learn my dogs' names quickly. And if I don't post a dog picture after like 3 or 4 days in a row, people are like, what's going on? Where's Boss? Right? So family is my number one, and then my other ones are all part of it. Now, when I post, this is where your pillars come into a huge thing. We become intentional with our Facebook posting. So you're not sitting there when you wake up in the morning like, what am I going to post about? Okay? I am going to post, so faith for me is like my motivating, my inspiring, all of that. And I post usually a motivational, inspiring quote at least every couple days. Okay? So every single day you're going to post a post that aligns with your number one pillar. So whether I'm posting about my kid running one of our cross-country meets, or I'm going to post gratitude for my husband, or I'm going to post my dog, or I'm going to post something that aligns with my family.
Okay.
And then my other 2 posts of the day can be from any of the pillars. But what happens is you're going to find that your health and wellness is going to be about every 2 results you're going to post a results picture. And if you want right now to like amp yourself up, you can post result pictures more frequently. There's no harm in it. But the important thing is, as you're posting and people are commenting, you are reacting, or not reacting, you are commenting back on every single comment. Okay? So a way to get more comments is if you Dee, I just muted you because I'm like a squirrel, just letting you know. I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to make it so you can't talk to me. If you make a post and at the end of your post ask a question, right? So like, hey, it's Friday, I can't wait for date night. What are all of your plans for the weekend? And that's just a really basic one. But you want to ask something in your post that makes people comment, right? Not just, like if I post cute pictures of my kid running, I always get comments. I mean, there's just certain things people always react to. But if I am posting a picture of me just getting home back from a run, so health and wellness, I want to ask like, what did you do for exercise today? Or what kind of running shoes do you wear? Or, you know what I mean? Something to get reaction so that I can respond to comments, because where you said in your voice clip about like, I'm struggling getting that relationship built and I feel like I'm cold messaging, spamming. And I want to say something, Dee, about what you said in the messaging thing too, because part of your brand is your mouth. I'm going to unmute her because I want to talk directly to you. But you said you're worried about your potty mouth. Dude, that's your brand. Like, the people that don't like it are going to leave, right? But you're going to attract, so you guys all know, do you all know who Kagan is?
Yeah.
Kagan is one of my best friends, and she is like a notorious F-bomber. But that's part of her brand. Like, she like does like black hearts and like if I see something that says black is the color of my soul, and Kagan is the happiest person I know, but if I see a meme that says black is the color of my effing soul, I'm like, dude, did you see this? Like, that's your brand. So don't feel like, and I don't mean like dropping F-bombs all over Facebook, but when you're messaging and talking to people, be yourself. Be yourself, okay? So go ahead, I see you.
How do you schedule and plan all of these things and not feel fake?
Well, I mean, it's all in the way you deliver it, right? Like, I don't post anything that I wouldn't say if I was talking to you in human, like real life. So, like, if you guys, this is the one thing I will offer to you guys, and this is gonna sound really stinking, like conceited maybe, but I was blessed with a way with words. I went to college to be a writer. So if you guys are ever like, I want to post about this, but I don't know how to word it, or I want to say this, or if I want to reach out to this person and this is something about them and I don't know how to reach out to them, you can always message me and say, hey, Daphne, I want to post about this. I want to reach out to somebody that is a fitness instructor. I want to do this, this, and this. How would you approach it? I will always type you something that you can even copy paste. So
That's perfect.
I think that you, like, if you're struggling with feeling fake, then you need to really think about how you're going to say it, because I want you to say it like you'd really say it in real life. Now, if, like, I say the F word. I'm just going to throw that out there. But I don't put the F word very frequently. Actually, I don't ever put the F word on my public profile. But if I'm messaging with you and I know I can read you as a person, I'm me. Like, take it or leave it, right? Like, what you see is what you get. So when I try to be something, that was a really long-winded answer to, I don't post anything fake. Like, I don't want you to feel like you have to like become something that you're not. Does that make sense?
So, yeah, but what if you just don't feel it then? Like, how do you get past the,
So if you don't feel it, that's okay.
I don't want to deal with this shit today or whatever, you know?
So you find a quote, like I'll Google search. You guys need to really take this note right here. If I'm feeling a certain way, I Google the words like, not feeling this shit, quotes. I'll Google those words. Not feeling this shit today, quotes. And I add quotes to the end. And then I hit images. And then it'll bring up all these pretty images that have quotes on them about being so over what I'm dealing with. Or if I'm like, I'm just done for the day. Like, oh, I'm over it, whatever. I mean, you can Google search anything and add the word quotes to it when you Google search, and then hit images, and you will be shocked at what you can find. So when I don't feel like posting and I don't feel like sharing my life because I look like a pile of trash and I don't do anything, that's when I use inspirational quotes. Honest. More people message me and tell me they appreciate how real I am and how inspiring I am. And usually, most of the time when I do that, it's because I don't feel like posting another selfie or posting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
But I also don't post, like, if I'm going to post a selfie, I post a selfie for a reason. So, like, when I post a selfie, like today I posted a selfie because Kagan made me this hat, and I was like, back from the weekend, and I wanted to let people know, like, I got to get up today, throw my hat on, throw my hair up and put on a hat, and, like, go rock a day instead of trading my time for money and going to work for somebody else. So that was the whole basis of me posting a selfie.
Okay.
So, listen, I will help you with ideas for posting, but what I really want you guys to do is to figure out your 5 pillars so we can figure out what you should be posting about. Because here's the thing, you wouldn't be over it if you were posting about something you're passionate about. You wouldn't be so over it if you were always posting about something that really set your soul on fire.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need to find our 5 pillars first.
So there's a video. I'm gonna tag you guys in it too. Amber did in Minnesota. Amber did her talk about branding yourself, and she actually went over how to build your 5 pillars. Exactly what I just talked about, but it'll be a good video to like reiterate it in your mind and for you guys to watch. So I'm gonna tag you guys in it.
Okay. And then, so Daphne, when you say you do like 3 to 5 days, do you do 1 curiosity post per like 4 posts or 5 posts or what?
Honey, did you
When
want
do
to
we
eat?
do curiosity posts?
When you do curiosity posts. So here's like, oh, you know what else? The other thing you can throw in for posts if you don't feel like it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna step away, but I'll come to that. The other thing you do if you don't feel like it are engagement posts, right? Like all over the place right now is, what team are you on? Pumpkin spice or apple pie? Like, that doesn't take an ounce of brain, and I can just put a post out there that says, so if you Google search or question, it'll come up and say, freaking mayonnaise or Miracle Whip, ketchup or mustard. I mean, all these silly ones. And I'm going to tell you what, if you ask one of those questions on your Facebook, every person in this world has an opinion. the first time I ever did it, I was at a training and somebody was talking about doing these, and they're like, everybody go to your Facebook wall right now and post 2 colors and ask or in between. So I put orange or black. That's all I wrote. No picture. I just wrote orange or black. And I think I had 100 and some comments. So people have opinions, and they don't know if you're asking about what color shirt you should get, what color should you dye your hair. They don't have anything, right? So all they want to know is that they get to share their opinion. So those are good things to do too when you're like just not feeling like coming up with a new post. And they get a ton of engagement. So I know you guys talked about how your engagement's getting lower. The thing is you need to make sure that you're interacting with every single comment. So every comment that comes to one of your posts, you need to reply to. I don't care if they said, love you. I don't care if they just put a heart emoji. Like, you need to be like, heart emoji back. Whatever it is, like, you need to be engaging. Okay, what was your question again? I just totally got myself sidetracked.
No, you're fine. For how many posts then do you put a curiosity post?
You can do a curiosity post every day.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say every other day.
My curiosity posts are lacking. Like, my interactive posts are fine, and I'm getting a ton of interaction. But as soon as I do a curiosity post, I'm not getting anything.
Okay, so what are you doing for curiosity? Like, are you using other people's before and after pictures? Okay, so let's get away for a little bit from the before and after pictures and do more of like so excited to use my waist trainer in a bottle. You know what I mean? Like, more of those. You guys use the app Boomerang?
I don't know how.
Okay, if you download Boomerang, it literally takes like 5-second videos, and like if you start out here and you go like this, it's gonna go like this. It'll like replay, and so like if you squirt on a spoon, it'll go down and then back up, down and then back up. So it's just, they're really kind of cute and catchy, and people watch them because they're just fun. Like, we like to do them on the trampoline, and we like to do them like all the, like, I took one of my daughter doing that little floss dance, and just silly things, right? And I post those because they're just funny.
Okay.
They'll get attention. Same thing with when you see the people, everybody coming back from conference did like the 3 burn pills in their hand, but they just took a picture like, thank goodness for my energy today. But here's the thing, like, when you post a curiosity post like that, you have to do a pain point. So, like, are you struggling with getting up and feeling energized this Monday morning? Okay, every person in this world struggles with feeling energized on a Monday morning. Maybe not every person, but for the most part. So you're going to hit a pain point. Feeling groggy this morning? I am so thankful for this natural clean energy because today I have a lot to get done, and I am going to fly through it with the help of these guys. Okay? So, like, when you do that, same thing with dumping if you do the activate at night, like, show yourself dumping the cream into the cup. Just getting a little bit more crafty with how you're using the products. And if you're not using them, then having somebody help you with coming up with things like that. Because if I took a picture of the burn in my hand and you used a picture of my hand, nobody would know it was not your hand. Because I don't have that. So, we can come up with things like that. But I would say, like, if you're going to do a before and after picture, this is what I haven't done one of these in a while, and now that I'm about to say this, I need to start doing it again. But I would write, you know how you can use like the colored backgrounds? So you just type like 2 sentences and there's a colored background. You can write something like, holy cow, can hardly believe this, 2 products, 2 months, with arrows pointing down.
Okay.
So that's it. With the big color block so it looks like eye-catching. And then in the comments, put the picture. And then in the reply of the picture, post their story. Like, copy-paste their story.
Okay.
Facebook doesn't recognize that as a copy-paste post because it's in the comments. And more people actually have to physically click on your page to see what you put in there.
Okay.
So when people are clicking on your stuff, Facebook sees that, you get more interaction.
All right. Got it.
Do you hear that? What is it? I think I hear a lullaby.
We have a lot of horns.
Well, let me just tell you guys, like, I know I'm like throwing a ton of information at you tonight, but like, I'm at your fingertips. All right. I don't know what accessibility you had before, or like I don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to help figure out some answers, right? Like, it's all trial and error. This is a business that we have the flexibility to do what we want, right? And some of these things I'm giving to you as ideas and suggestions, they may or may not work for you. But heck, it's worth trying. And if they don't work, then we figure out what's next. But I know that if I can help you figure out some things that you can do in your normal day that are going to help build a little bit more interaction, or make, here's the thing, excitement is contagious. If I help you guys find some excitement where you don't feel like you're constantly trying to figure this out and that you're just excited to do the next thing, it's going to bleed through. And the more excited you get, the easier it gets. And the more easier it gets, the more you want to do it. So it's just really, yeah, it's just really about helping you guys find some excitement. So I think when I found my brand, like, I struggled with that for a really, really long time, because I was kind of like you guys, like, everybody was becoming a network marketing coach, and I've been in the industry for a long time. So I felt like, well, I have the knowledge. Why am I not doing this too? Well, it's just not me. Like, I'm the black sheep. I like to be different than everybody else. I like to do things not always mainstream. So like, I started figuring out my brand, and I just want to be really good at what I do. And that is this company, and that is network marketing. So unless I'm like E3 times 20, I'm not going to worry about any of the other stuff. I'm just going to be Daphne. I'm going to be the girl that loves orange. I'm going to be the girl that drives a Jeep. I'm going to be the girl with black hair. I'm going to be, the girl that's fascinated with blue eyes. I'm going to be all the things that I love. Noodles and Bosley's mom, like, if you can identify with me for that, that's what I would rather be.
Right.
So I want you to just feel like if you need something, you reach out to me at any time. Most times I'm pretty immediate at getting back. I'm human, so sometimes I run in the morning, so I don't take my phone. So I might be inaccessible for an hour or two, but I'm never more than that.
Okay. Well, we definitely need the help. We try to do our own and not bother everyone, because that's just what we do. But it's so awesome to know that you're there and available for us. I really do appreciate that.
Let me say this about doing it out on your own. Like, y'all do what you want to do, because that's your business, right? Like, that's just it. The one thing I do want you to do is make sure that you stay active in the chat, which you guys are pretty good at, and don't take yourself completely away from everything else. Like, something that was so important. I was with my previous company for 7 years, and I didn't ever really become involved with sidelines all that much. I'm going to tell you guys, I was a lot like you guys. I underestimated myself. I didn't know that I could do all the things. I hit some middle of the road success there. And when I came here, I was just like, I don't know what I can do here, but I'm going to try. Like, I didn't think that it would ever be. And when I came here and I said, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go after this, and I'm going to figure this out as I go. And I'm going to personal develop my boots off. That's one thing we didn't really talk about, was what you're feeding into your brain. But when I said I was going to do all that stuff, and I started to believe in myself, like, everything unfolded. So, but I kind of got sidetracked there for a second. The one thing that keeps me as strong and as motivated and as unified and as tight in this company as I really feel like I am, especially right at this moment, is my sidelines. So you guys, like, as close and as core tight as you guys there's so much to be said about all those other people that want to work with you.
Okay.
Taken and I are the exact same position. We benefit zero from each other monetarily, financially. But she is, every time I have something that I want to vent about or that I have an issue with, I take it to her because you definitely don't want to take it down. And we actually did a leadership training in Dallas, and one of the things was to never become best friends with the people that you work with, because like D is at the top, right, of you guys?
Yeah.
If D's at the top and something like Nickie, you did something that needed to be constructive criticism or that needed to be corrected, or you had an interaction that needed to be handled maybe a little bit differently, when you guys are best friends, it becomes very sticky and friendships can be ruined. It's just a really funny thing. So when you have somebody else that you can vent to, and obviously I'm just using that as an example, but when you have other people you can vent to, or other people you can be like, hey, what do you think about this, that don't benefit from it and you don't benefit from them, it's very helpful. So I don't want you to completely segregate yourself. I want people to know your names, because you guys need to be recognized for the leaders that you are as well. And if you segregate yourself too much, then nobody's gonna know who you are.
Okay.
So I definitely think it's totally cool for you guys to have your own group and your own chat and do that sort of thing, but like, don't leave out those other things, because those are going to be the things that identify you as a leader. Yeah, that was like summarize that right up.
Okay, that makes sense.
But use me. Y'all, I haven't talked to you since this whole everything changed, so use the heck out of me.
I don't know. I'm gonna work on my colors.
We all talk. We all talked over each other and then we all stopped. Did one of you guys want to say something?
No, go ahead.
I think I'm good. That leaves us a lot to work on and think about, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I know that I probably overwhelmed the heck out of you. Right now, I think like to reel it back a little bit is I do want you to think about what would you like to achieve by October 31st? Like that's the most important right now, right? Like I gave you all these tasks. I don't want you to feel like you need to take this next week to like master all these tasks. So like, I want you to look at your numbers where you're at right this very moment. And I know, Nickie, you kind of talked about them a little bit. And what would you like to achieve by October 31st? So even if you said you're right around bronze and you want to go platinum, that's not a crazy goal. Feels crazy, but it's not a crazy goal. And I am one for always telling people to be very audacious with your goals, because if you reel your goals in and you make them really small, like it doesn't require you to be really urgent. It doesn't require you to really work hard. But if you set your goal really, really big, it makes you work a lot harder, and at least you will land amongst the stars, right? Like you will surpass those smaller goals. So I think that it's not crazy to think big like that, and then break that down by day. What do you need to do? And then make sure that you're having conversations. We didn't really talk about starting conversations or, how to do that and not be. The best thing is going to be interacting on your posts to get that into Messenger so that it doesn't have to be cold message. But I think probably within, let's do our best to really make sure we're talking to as many people as we can for the end of this month. I will tell you guys this. There is so much good coming. So even if we fall short of our goals for October, if you guys committed to nothing more than starting as many freaking conversations as you can every single day through the rest of this month, is if you can commit to starting as many conversations as you can every single day through the rest of this month and rolling into November doing that exact same thing. Black Friday, neither of you were here for Black Friday last year. Black Friday and Cyber Monday are the craziest days ever in this company. We did 46,000 in volume. Our team did in 2 days last year. So
Oh my gosh.
So you have to really think, like, every person that you're talking to and every person that you're getting to your messenger right now, even if you're not getting them to the business or getting them to the product, they're going on your lead list so that when it does come time for Black Friday or it does come time for a promotion, and I have like a little bug in my ear that says that there may or may not be a weight loss, an M3 promotion in the next few days. Just saying. So if that happens, that's going to be helpful for getting some customer pop points. But every person you're talking to becomes a seed that's been planted so that when all these promotions start rolling along, and then SRC is going to be insane, like over the top crazy this time. You know, listening to Ozma talk when we were in Dallas, she basically said, you know, they're dropping at least 3 new products in SRC, and one of them is something that not one other company in the world has that competes with it, and that will be we can basically look at every company and tell them to sit down when that product comes out. And there's also and there's also a new regulation that's being put in place starting January 1st for all network marketing companies, and they're self-reporting, and we have been self-reporting for years, but most other companies have not been. And because we're self-reporting, we are like fit every single guideline of the FTC. And all these companies that have not been reporting are, I mean, they're going to have like some strict, basically, Asma said, once those regulations hit next year, within the first quarter, if not second quarter of the year, there's going to be thousands upon thousands, if not millions of people looking for a new home. So it's just a matter of like putting yourself out there. Like not being afraid to talk to people, not being afraid to say to somebody, like if you're on Facebook and you see somebody that really is just outgoing and fun or happy, or they really attract your attention, not being afraid to say, you know what, I love watching your posts. You inspire me. I think that you'd be really great at what I do. Would you ever be open to hearing more? That's not a cold message, you guys. Yeah, you might have not had a conversation before, so it feels cold, but that's not cold. You genuinely complimented them, and hopefully it's somebody that you genuinely feel that way about, that they do some great things on social media, and you're just asking them if they're open. The worst thing they're going to say is no thank you, and that's not offensive. I don't take offense to that. I know sometimes we don't ask the questions because we're afraid of the rejection, or we don't like the way that feels when they say no, but the more that you hear it, the less offensive it becomes, and you know, the more people you're asking. So find something about people that you like, whether it's their energy, whether it's their inspiring posts, whether it's their, you know, their consistency, it's their, you know, their passion for their kids, you know, whatever it is, and give them a genuine compliment and say, you know, would you ever be open to hearing about this? I really love what I'm doing, and I would love to work with somebody like you. That's not cold.
Okay. That's a perfect tip because I would never think that.
Yeah, I just think, you know, if somebody reached out to me like that, even me, like I would consider myself 1000% not recruitable. Like nobody could reach out to me, and I would, if anybody reached out to me like that, I would say no thank you. That's okay. I would never be rude to somebody. Actually, every person that reaches out to me, cold message or not, I reply to, because my biggest pet peeve is people that don't reply to me. Like if I send you a message, you could at least tell me no thank you. It's worse to see that you saw it and you just sit there. It drives me crazy. I actually send the gifts that are like, you there? You know, like the funny ones that are like Jim Carrey that's like waving in the little hole. Like I'm so irritated. Or the one that's like the guy tapping his fingers and it says me waiting for you to respond to my message. Like I send those because I'm like, dude, like be human and reply when somebody just reached out to you, because I feel like I don't reach out and be like, I need 17 product testers. Would you please try my product for 3 months and I'll give you 25%? I don't send that crap. So if you're genuinely being a good person when you're reaching out to them, or if it's somebody you haven't seen in a long time, or if somebody, I just was on a call tonight with another girl and I said to her, if you have a computer, and you go to your friends list on your computer, computers rank it like the desktop version of Facebook ranks your friends from the people you interact with the most to the people you interact with the least. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom, those are people you probably haven't interacted with in forever. So probably some of them, and this sounds really super, super morbid, but maybe they've passed away. You can delete them off your wall. But sometimes, like when I do it, and I do this every once in a while, I get to those people and I open them up. If all they do is share cat videos, like they offer no value to you, like why are they friends with you on Facebook? You might be able to delete them. Deleting people actually increases your value to Facebook, and they will give you more interaction if you're deleting people. Just a hint.
Okay.
But the other thing is say one of them is a good friend from high school that you haven't talked to in 5 years, and you open up her page and you see that they just came back from the Bahamas, or they just had a baby, or they just got a new puppy, or they just bought a new house, or whatever. Like, what better way to reach out to somebody and be like, oh my gosh, I just came across your profile, and I see you got a new puppy. So cute. What have you been up to? Okay. So instead of scrolling the news feed and hoping that something comes up that you can interact with, being intentional and looking for people to interact with.
Okay.
That was probably the most important part of this call, was helping you guys find people to interact with and get in their news, in their messenger. Because messenger is going to be where the money's at. You know?
Okay.
The other thing you can do is, we have a girl on our team that's actually one of my best friends that's joined us in May and is never ever promoted. And about 2 weeks ago, she was asking like for some tips on how to get customers, and somebody suggested the whole thing of like, hey, you know, friends of yours that maybe haven't bought from you, or maybe they have bought from you, but asking people to like sending them a message and be like, hey, you know what, I have some massive goals for the end of October. I just wanted to reach out and see if you would ever consider putting a post on your wall for me. You're doing that through Messenger. You're not posting on Facebook. Who would be willing to post on their wall for me? You're sending it through Messenger and asking them personally if they would do you a favor. Every person she asked said yes. I think it was like 4 or 5 people is all she asked. And they all posted on her, and she got 790 points in 12 hours. She had never ever promoted before. So not being afraid to do those things to make it grow, you know what I mean? And none of the people she asked were customers yet. So she set them up with a customer account. Like they went in and put their information, didn't place an order. When your customers do that, they get a share the love link. And so when somebody commented on there, Missy was the one going in and like interacting with the people that commented. She was ATMing them. So she got like, I don't know, 80 people ATM'd in that day or two. And so they haven't ordered yet, but you know eventually they probably will, because they're going to get dripped on now. And she also set anybody that did order, she used the person who posted the referral link, so they got $10 product credit for every customer out of their posts. And it's building her customer pod. So so then that person that made the post ends up with $10, $20, $30, $40 in product credit. You're going to turn them into a customer, I can assure you.
I love you too.
So being a little bit crafty like that, like I feel like I'm just adding more to your whole list, bombarding you, and that little person is so cute. Hi! Oh my goodness, you're so pretty. Where'd your tooth go?
She wants to know where your tooth went.
Oh my, you're missing a couple. Look at them. Your front tooth's growing in though, isn't it? So cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was definitely helpful. Thank you, Daphne, so much for taking time out of your night.
Yeah, so I'm going to get this recording, and I'll send the recording link into our chat. That's just the 4 of us chat, so that it's there. So if you guys want to go back and hear anything. But I think, like, there's been so much.
I can't hear you.
I
can hear that.
I can hear you. You look like a jack-o'-lantern with your teeth like that. Ready for Halloween?
Yeah.
So I think we should touch base probably sooner than later. Like, let's not too much more of the month go, and we can touch base and see Like what's working, what's not working, what can I help you with? And you guys can reach out individually too. I know I posted on there for everybody to watch Justin Prince's live video, or yeah, the closing speech that I posted, and then reach out to me for a one-on-one. We didn't talk about any of the things that I want in those one-on-ones because those are actually individual goals for volume and position or ranks, and then your 5 things. So if you watch that video, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I'd still like to do those individually with each of you too, but I really want you to focus on just like really crushing this month-end goals and just going after it. If you need help with any posts, if you need help with any messages, I am always available for 3-way chats. I'm pretty speedy to reply. So if you need anything, just don't hesitate to reach out. I'm accessible. I promise.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
I've talked to
you.
you guys forever. I'm glad we got to jump on tonight. I will talk to you guys probably very, very soon. Okay.
Okay. Have a good night.
Yeah. Good night, guys.